and the host school, Greenwood High School. Greenwood playing their first home game of the 1992 season and the first home game ever in the school's 3-year history. And we are set, believe it or not, for the kickoff. Warren Central in the visiting white, kicking off to Greenwood in the maroon. And the kick goes deep into the end zone, and Greenwood will take over on their own 20. We'll talk a little bit about the starting lineups here in a second, but first of all, my name is Mike Gay. I'm joined by my color man, Dan Powers. And Dan, we've got a good game set up tonight. Both teams come into the game at 0-3, and both teams are hungry for a victory.
Big time hungry. I think Greenwood's going to have an edge first home game night. There's a lot of emotions going on right here in the stadium. A lot of people are up for this game. Good turnout for a high school football game.
And the ball's being tossed in. Greenwood's quarterback will be number 10, Nate Martin. You want to keep an eye on him. He's a speedster. Brandon Keith is the big man out of the backfield. He's the fullback. Martin, hands under center, rolls out. Long toss downfield. This one's going to be nabbed in a hurry. Picked off by number 44 and tackled right on the 45-yard line, and that was really a wounded duck.
That was. Tonight, I think the big test is going to be whether or not they can get that ball up in the air and be effective with it. Because this Warren Central team's going to run it right down their throat. They're going to have to be able to move the ball against them.
That's exactly right. Jamison Smith on the interception there for Warren Central, and they've got great field position for their first possession of the ball game. Quarterback is Sean Isabel, number 3. Watch Courtez Metcalfe as he gets the ball and finds a little running room off the left side. He gets about 4 yards, brings up second down and 6 for Warren Central. We'll set the offense for you. The tackles are Jennings and Mitten. The guards are Brock and Joyner. Center is number 52, Chad Garrett. Isabel, the quarterback. The ends are Chris Elwood, Steve Stonebreaker, and Metcalfe is in the backfield. He's got the pitch, and he's down close to a first down, and great running there. Game tackling by Greenwood.
That's what it's going to be tonight. They're going to have to shut Courtez down because Warren Central on a field like it is tonight, muddy, rainy, they're going to want to run the ball right at him. So Greenwood's going to have to stand up and knock that run down. They're not going to let it happen.
It's definitely an advantage when you've got a good running game. It looks like we've got a flag on the play. It will be on Warren Central, and I imagine Greenwood will take the yardage and the penalty, and it'll make it second down once again. Holding on the offense brings up second down and 15 yards to go for Warren Central. Ball's right at midfield, and the Dragons come back on the attack. Official timeout on the field. Right here in brand new Gator Stadium. The field is really not in good shape, but it has nothing to do with Greenwood's fault.
No.
It had a lot of rain today. It rained pretty much all day, and there was a soccer game played here right on this field beforehand, and it really hurt the middle of the field. And we're going to see how the conditions are during the rest of the evening and how that will affect both the running and the passing games of both teams.
You've heard it before, but it's going to come down to which team's the better mudder, I believe.
That's exactly right. Pitch around the right side. Look out. Oh, boy, see ya.
He's gone, folks. Steps over a mud puddle. He's in there.
Courtez Metcalfe, 50 yards on the touchdown. And Warren Central, before you can bat an eye, has got a 6-0 lead.
It was good running right there and great blocking around the end. He just made that play all by himself, really. Once he hit that hole, there wasn't much of a chance of catching him. Had to dodge a mud puddle out there about the 30, but once he got past it.
Were no Greenwood defenders in sight.
It's good.
Drive covers 3 plays, and the kick is good, and that makes it 7-0. Warren Central has scored with 10 minutes and 53 seconds to go in the first quarter of action. 50 yards on the run by Courtez Metcalfe, and he immediately makes his presence known.
That's going to be the big thing tonight. Not only Greenwood's ability to shut down the run, but they're going to have to score points by themselves, too. It's not just going to be stopping them and hoping they can go for a field goal here to win this game. They're going to have to be able to put those points up on the board.
50-yard dash by Metcalfe makes it 7-0, and Greenwood is going to try and come back on the attack and get some points of their own. One thing that Greenwood has done this year that they did not do in their first 2 years of the school's existence in football is score points. The first 2 years they did not score very many points, and that's why they lost all their ball games. They went 0-26, and it was really a rough start. Of course, it's really hard once you start a new program, and you know, more than that, you have to play 26 straight road games, and that's really got to be old.
Exactly.
And they're really glad to be at home and not have to get on a bus and drive to a ball game. That takes a little something out of you as well.
It's nice to eat dinner at the house and just come out with your pads on.
That's right. So Greenwood's going to try it again. 7-0 is our score, 10:53. Martin under center. Movement on the left side, no call. Big hole up the middle. And a gain of about 5 yards. I didn't get the number on that one. It looked to be Brandon Keith, number 30, the fullback. And then Keith and Shannon Fletcher, the other tailback, can have a good ball game for Greenwood. It would really keep them in this game.
That's going to be a big thing, I think. Not only being able to go over top of the ball, but they're going to have to set up some kind of running game going right off the bat. They're going to have to show that Warren Central team that there's more than just air attack to them.
And they've shown it right here, and they pick up another first down. Or, excuse me, their first down of the ball game. Right up the gut, surprisingly. Against a tough 4-3 Warren Central defense, Brandon Keith going right up the middle. He's picked up 11 yards. Make that 13 yards on 2 carries now. And Greenwood has their first down and looking to move that football down the field. Martin, hands under center, runs the option and gives it to the fullback up the middle.
On a night like tonight, I don't think there's anything wrong with handing the ball off and letting them work at it.
Shannon Fletcher, good running on the right side, and we have a player injured for Warren Central on the field. I can't catch the number on it right now. But anyway, that's pretty good running for Greenwood.
It is.
I think Warren Central kind of came out in this second series looking to intercept another pass, and they may not see one if this running game keeps up the way it's going.
They can move it like that. There's really no need to go back up top.
Notice they're trying a little bit of the option there.
It is.
Got 2 backs faking to the fullback or giving the ball to the fullback, which they've been doing and been successful so far. And really, most offensive coordinators, when you sit down to develop an offense and you're going to run some variation of the option, if you keep giving that ball to the fullback up the middle, there's no need to make a pitch or have your quarterback run with it and have a chance of him getting hurt. You just keep giving the fullback the ball, just like Greenwood has done on this drive, and hope they can grind it out.
This is gut football right now would be a good way to put it, what they're doing.
Still can't tell who the player is on the field. They are looking at his right knee.
It's another thing they're going to have to watch for tonight with the field and the condition it's in. Well, you hate to say it's a good chance to ever have somebody get hurt, but more than likely
conditions are in favor
exactly
of knee and ankle injury just because of the slippery turf.
Exactly. I think a point that can be stated was the puddle that Courtez jumped over on his run. It's things like that. If the guys aren't aware of what's going on out there in the field and where they are, there's a good chance you can end up down on the grass.
That was the end. Tim Carter for Warren Central, who was shaking up on the play, but he's limping off, looks to be okay. And I imagine we'll see him back in the ball game tonight. You don't see very many players on either of these teams get hurt and stay out for the remainder of the ball game unless it's a season-ending injury. Both these teams are real scrappy.
They are.
As a matter of fact, Greenwood played a tough Franklin Simpson team right down to the wire and had a chance to win the ball game just a week ago. And big running once again for Greenwood, this time on the right side. Gang tackled and thrown out of bounds across midfield into Warren Central territory. And once again, Brandon Keith with that tough running, giving it to the fullback up the middle. Very surprising here. I did not think that Greenwood was going to be able to run the football on this tough Warren Central defense like this, and they are marching right down the field.
They are moving it on them like they're not even there. To tell you the truth, I think it's a combination of the offensive line coming off and blocking strong and poor tackling by Warren Central. They had 6 or 7 guys there trying to knock him down.
Brings up first down and 10. Martin's going to roll out and try and pass again. And he dumps out, finds Keith, and out of bounds.
Something that's going to go unstated right there was the block by Shannon Fletcher. He took on 2 men. He gave Martin enough time to get that pass off. That was a great block by Fletcher.
An excellent block. And that's close to another first down. That's about 2 yards shy. Brings up second down and 2. Ball is spotted. The nose is right on the 40-yard line of Warren Central. And look out, but the Gators are driving on their second series. Movement in the backfield, and there's the flag. And great running up the middle by Shannon Fletcher, but this one's going to be called back, as I believe Brandon Keith moved, and that is the flag. That'll be a 5-yard penalty.
Well, it's kind of like alternating punches in a boxing match. They're just handing off to each running back and letting him take his turn.
Really a pretty good strategy there by Coach Virgil Ivers. Of course, Virgil played for the Chicago Bears, and you'll see that 4-3 defense for Greenwood really trying to grind it out, much like the Chicago Bears. And also like the Bears, you got to see that running game coming into effect. Most of the time in the past of Greenwood football history, they've thrown the football a lot because they've had to. Now they're having some success running the football, and I'll say that we'll see a lot more of it until Warren Central can stop it.
Yeah.
Up the gut, and another first down. Oh my, Brandon Keith on some great running and showed some good footage there on the wet turf. That is absolutely tremendous.
They are tearing.
He made a cut around the 35-yard line and got 3 more yards when he should have been tackled. That was excellent. Timeout, Warren Central, and Coach Hood wants to talk about it. He is miffed that Greenwood is running the football on him like this. I really don't believe he can honestly believe what he's seen.
I think you're absolutely right, and I don't know if I'd call it just running the football either. They're acting like there's not a team out there for Warren Central. They are tearing through that line.
This is really exactly the opposite of what everybody thought was going to happen coming into the ball game. We thought we would see 70 to 80 passes by Greenwood, simply because they would be behind the whole game, but they have come to play, and
yes,
I'd say a lot of it has to do with this first home game and being fired up for a ball game.
It's an effective drive, and the biggest thing that it's doing right now is it's keeping the ball out of Warren Central's hands.
Amen.
That's the big thing, like we were talking about, not letting Warren Central score points. If you can keep the ball and make sure they don't have it, there's no way for them to score those points.
Martin's under center. Man goes in motion. That's Veston. Fakes the pitch, and he fumbled the football. And Greenwood got a break there.
It was the same play they just run, Mike, except they went to the other side.
Went to the other side, and big number 38, LaShawn Turner, got back in the backfield for Warren Central and created some major trouble for Greenwood, and the Gators got a break there, folks. That brings up second down. They lost about 6 yards on the play, so that'll bring up second down and 16 to go for the Gators.
Ouch.
Matt Barrow split out to the close side, and they run straight up the middle again. Not much there this time. Warren Central being more aware of the fullback getting the football, and that was Shannon Fletcher on the carry. You really haven't seen too many individual tackles by Warren Central because it takes one man to stand him up.
Yeah.
And then it's game tackling throughout.
I think that was evident last week, too, in their game versus Bowling Green. There was a lot of gang tackling by both teams. Both teams were putting a lot of helmets on the ball carrier.
Little veer play this time, and big running room. All the way down to the 25-yard line of Warren Central. Shannon Fletcher. A little cutback there. All of Warren Central was headed to the right side of the field. And really, some pretty good offensive calls right here. I'm really impressed with the offense of Greenwood tonight. A flag on the play, though, I believe is going to nullify this one.
It's a shame because as a player, you love to bust off something like that, and you hate to see it get called back for something.
Illegal motion on Greenwood. Makes it third down.
As a coach, you love to see those kind of gang tackles. You love to see a lot of hats on the ball, but you don't want to see it happening about 15 yards down the field.
That's true.
Fletcher was tearing through that defense like it wasn't even there. He's coming out of the game right now. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Greenwood go up top on this one.
And look for John Scott on the near side. Martin drops straight back. Now he rolls out to the right. Throws long. A wounded duck, and that was picked off. One-handed. Look out. Can he go all the way? That's the question, and it doesn't look like he's going to, but that was absolutely a great interception. Roland Carver, the defensive back, he also plays wide receiver, and that's why he's got the great hands, but he just grabbed it out of the air with his left hand and took off with it. And really, that could be the killer drive for Greenwood if Warren Central puts points on the board here.
It really could, that right off the bat being down in a hole.
Oh boy, it's just so disappointing for Coach Livers. It's got to be. Your team is marching the ball down the field, and all of a sudden the wheels fall off and an interception.
He had a very effective drive going. It seems that both times Martin's gone to pass, he just hasn't had quite a good enough touch on it. That one's a little bit too high, and the first one was well short.
Clipping penalty on the run back, but it will be first down for Warren Central, and really a big break for Greenwood, because that's a 30-yard penalty when you look at it. That puts the ball on the 24-yard line versus having it across midfield. So a small break there for Greenwood, even though they did lose the football. Warren Central is going to try and use the fullback now with Tim Parker up the middle. And Kelly Mayfield made the stop. Brings up second down and about 6 yards to go for Warren Central.
Now this is the kind of football I was expecting to see Warren Central play, to just come out and slam that ball down their throat. But I think, nice tackle right there at times, but I think Greenwood maybe took a page from the Warren Central offensive playbook, and I'm going to show them how that run works.
Exactly. That'll bring up third down. Actually lost a yard there. As Greenwood got into the backfield there, had good penetration on the left side. They're going to try and stop him. Now this will really be a big plus for Greenwood if they can stop him on third down and force him to punt the football away. We'll see what happens. Isabel's going to pass. He's got a man open and completes it, and he's out of bounds. And he has picked up the first down. Anthony Kirby, the nice catch. That was a great fake. Isabel rolled around to the right side and found a wide open man. He had another man open downfield, but elected to hit the short man for the conservative first down play. Warren Central's going at it again, 1st and 10.
You have to wonder if Warren Central is going to run the ball and go with those short passes.
Look out. Here he goes again.
Oh, again, folks.
Can anybody catch him? There is a flag on the play. But woo-wee, Courtez Metcalfe with his second run over 50 yards for a touchdown, but will it stand?
It's becoming a track meet, to tell you the truth.
And it looks like the penalty is going to be on. Oh! This one will be called back. The way the teams were lining up on the field, I thought it was going to be on Greenwood, but a big break there for the Gators. 1st and 10, that ball went 64 yards on the run, all to be called back because of illegal use of the hands.
That's the kind of thing as a coach will drive you absolutely crazy. To see a play like that and the interception itself called back both.
So the 64-yard TD run is all for naught for Courtez Metcalfe. But you've got to admit, this kid can fly.
Once he gets past his line, he's really on his own, because basically he's outrun all his blockers.
You're right there. And he really doesn't. It doesn't matter to him either.
I don't think he needs them.
You know, everybody that's behind him, you know, the more people that are behind him, the happier he is. He'll outrun anybody. And he's just a junior too. He'll be back next year.
It's a scary thought when you think about that.
Well, Warren Central is going to try it again. First down. They give the ball once again to Metcalfe. And he gets pretty good running room right up the gut. About 6 yards on the carry, and that'll bring up second down and about 6 to go. Greenwood's going to have to find a way somehow during the ball game to stop Metcalfe. I can already see that.
There's no doubt about it. Right now on 4 carries, he's got 59 yards, but you add that other 60 that got called back, that's over 100 right off the bat.
Big running room up the middle and a first down for the Dragons. Tim Parker on the carry. Parker's got pretty good speed too, but he's more of a bullish runner, more of an Earl Campbell type runner. He would just as soon run over you as to run around you.
Yeah, I don't think he wants to go through wasting that energy with all the cuts. He's going straight ahead.
And really, it's a pretty good strategy on a wet night like tonight, straight up and down the field. And here comes Metcalfe once again. Ooh, good stick in there by Greenwood. 4 defenders hit Metcalfe at once, and he still got 6 yards on the carry.
This is going to be a long evening for Greenwood tonight if they can't shut him down.
Nate Martin's come into the ball game for the Greenwood Gators, and he's going to play cornerback. Going to try and put some speed out there on the wing. It doesn't matter. The ball goes into the middle, and a nice stick.
Nice. That was nice.
Garth Lorenz. The young man is 6'1". He weighs 266 pounds, and he's a sophomore.
That's a load right there.
That is a large load. And a nice stick, too. Showed pretty good speed.
Did. Good job of wrapping him up.
Brings up third down and a long 3. One split in to the near side. Pitch goes to guess who. And this one's going to be close, but I believe he's going to have enough for the first down.
Greenwood fought through there to get there to make sure he wasn't going to break off again.
Greenwood doing a better job of finding Metcalfe. Of course, he's the only dirty uniform on the field right now. He's the only person that's had the ball virtually the whole game. And going to have a timeout for a measurement. This is going to be close enough to measure, and really be a big plus for Greenwood here if this was a little short. And I don't think Warren Central would punt. I believe they would go for it. And you've got to give Metcalfe an opportunity to make less than a yard. I believe he could do it.
Well, you've got 2 horses in the backfield because Parker himself is no slouch, just size alone.
Boy, that's first down by about the width of a dime. So the ball will be spotted on the 42-yard line in Greenwood territory. First down and 10 for the Dragons. 3 minutes and 35 seconds left to go in the first quarter. It's 7-0 Warren Central. Metcalfe finds some running room up the middle. Gets more or less tackled by the official. And Greenwood throws him to the ground. Doesn't matter, his uniform's dirty anyway.
Greenwood team is fired up, and the defensive line is doing the best they can to make sure that he's not going to get anywhere. They're going to try and hold him as long as they can, get that secondary in to knock him down.
Greenwood really needs to hold Warren Central from scoring on this drive. If they can do that, I believe they'll be in this ball game at least until halftime. Here's Isabel. Fakes this time, and he's going to throw long. He's got a man wide open. Up! Did he catch it? Yes, touchdown. Warren Central. Nice grab, and guess who? Roland Carver. The same man who made the one-handed interception makes the acrobatic juggling catch into the end zone, and Warren Central has struck again. It's 13-0.
Great pass and a great catch. A good juggling act was going on there near the end zone.
And we're going to have the try for the extra point. Isabel will be holding. Graham's kick is up and way out into the parking lot. It's good, and the score is 14-0 with 2 minutes and 48 seconds left to go in the first quarter. Warren Central leading Greenwood in their home opener in the school's history. Absolutely a phenomenal throw and catch on that last touchdown.
Tell you what, Mike, going back to the PAT there, that's the first time I've seen a straight-on kicker in quite a while.
I tell you now, this kid can kick the football. He's huge. And of course, if you'll remember a couple of years ago, they used to have another pretty good straight-on kicker by the name of Damon Hood.
Yeah.
Who is now playing for the University of Kentucky. And he had the old flat-toe Dempsey shoe and really could boot it a mile, and so can this kid. He can really put the foot to it. Look at that. This is high school football, ladies and gentlemen. He almost kicked it through the uprights. It's a touchback, and Greenwood will have the ball on the 20-yard line and see if they can rejuvenate that running game and keep the football. Really, Greenwood has stopped themselves on offense. Penalties here and there, and of course the big turnovers. One interception and really, or two interceptions, really has stopped both of their drives.
That's going to be the big thing. I'd hate to see Greenwood go away from the running game they were using because it was so effective until they went to the pass.
We have a timeout on the field. Warren Central wants to talk about it for some reason. I don't know what Coach Hood is conjuring up over on the sidelines with a 14-0 lead, and he's playing defense unless he wants to give his players a breather. Greenwood High School in their first home game in school's history, 26 straight road games for the Gators. It is amazing that they are still here. You first come out, you're trying to build a football team, and basically most of the kids that came from Greenwood were from Warren Central. And let's face facts, they were kids that did not get to play much on the other football team, came over to Greenwood, and of course you had kids from other schools that migrated on. You're taking more or less cardiac kids that don't get to play anywhere else, and you're coming together trying to put a football team together, and here's what you see.
I think that's something that you need to look at Greenwood when you were looking for their
Brandon Keith, look out! Big running room.
Great run.
25-yard pickup that time, all the way out to the 45-yard line for Brandon Keith. A 25-yard gallop.
I was saying, I think something that's very important about Greenwood, one of their season goals, aside from just the football aspect of consistency on offense and defense, something that really stood out to me was the coach's commitment to play as many kids as he could.
That's true, and it's got to help down the line. You play some of these freshmen and sophomores.
Ooh, I think we had a little
mix-up in the backfield. Martin did the smart thing, though. He kept the ball. If you'll remember a couple of series ago, the last series, as a matter of fact, right before the interception, Warren Central came into the backfield and caused some problems on that option play to the left side, and Martin fumbled the ball, but Keith was just there to fall on it. Martin did the smart thing that time by keeping the football. Brings up second down. They give him a gain of 1 on the play. Up inside of the fullback. Not much running room there that time. Greenwood is doing a pretty good job of blocking up on the inside. Of course, they're really kind of outmanned against the bigger, more physical Warren Central players. And most of the Warren Central players have a lot more experience as well. So Greenwood very much holding their own and moving that football down the field.
Doing a good job of it, too. Looking very effective. Right? Like we were saying, I was expecting to come out here and see a lot of passes going up in the air. But, I'm kind of an advocate of ground football myself, so I'm enjoying this game. This is more or less a smash mouth who can beat who down the field.
Whoa! Flag on the play, and boy, oh boy. Doug Joyner just grabbed Martin and threw him to the ground by the back of his tail.
He went down in a hurry.
Whew.
I think it was slinging him around and managed to shoot the ball out.
Illegal procedure on Greenwood. That brings up a first down for Warren Central. Penalty was declined. And Warren Central with an opportunity to really blow this game wide open now.
Yeah. This is going to be a big one right here for Greenwood. They're going to have to, starting right at midfield, they're going to have to stand up tall against this Warren Central team.
Oh, Lord. Here he goes. Is he going to get around? No, he didn't get around the corner that time. And Greenwood doing a pretty good job of keeping him from getting around that outside end, and it'd be nothing but green grass between he and the end zone then, because he will outrun everybody on this field.
That was the quarterback, Nate Martin, that put the pop on him in there in the backfield. He's in there at cornerback right now.
They're doing a pretty good job of it. Also the backup quarterback in there playing. Big running room up the inside. Here we go. And the Dragons are down close to the 20-yard line of Greenwood. Tim Parker showing pretty good speed himself. And this may be just a little too much for Greenwood to handle. Although I must say, Greenwood has really surprised me at how much they have improved. I saw them play last year. This is the first time I've seen them play this year. And this team has really improved, especially tonight on their running game. I don't know what kind of drills they've been doing or whatever, but you need to bottle it up and keep it. If they had an aerial attack tonight that was worth anything, they've yet to complete one pass. They could be right in this ball game. Of course, turnovers have just killed the Gators. They've made 3 turnovers, 2 on interceptions, and 1 going forward on 4th down. It's hard to overcome.
It is. It's very hard to overcome. It'll really hurt you when you're getting there, you're building your momentum, you're working down the field, you're tearing through Warren Central like they're not there, and all of a sudden everything goes wrong and you've lost the ball again.
Well, Sean Isabel is doing a pretty good job of marching his Dragons down the field as well. Of course, when all you have to do is take the ball from under center and pitch it back to Metcalfe or give it off to Parker, it's pretty easy to do. And he pitches it off to Metcalfe, and he's got some trouble getting around the end this time, and a good move on the outside. He gets down to the 10-yard line.
Metcalfe is completely brown now. I can't see, other than his helmet, there's not a stitch of white on the kid.
That's true. And that'll be the end of the first quarter. Your score, Warren Central 14 and Greenwood nothing. You're watching high school football on Store Cable 6.
Is moving the ball effectively against a Greenwood team right now. Greenwood has been hurt by turnovers. They're playing good football. You can't downride the kids for that. They're playing a good, solid game. Right now, they're just having trouble standing up against a more powerful Warren Central team.
And speaking of power, it's Metcalfe straight up the middle, down close to the goal line, and Warren Central is about to punch it in once again and pretty much blow this game open. Greenwood's going to have to come up with a turnover. That's all there is to it in order to stay in this football game.
Tell you the truth, Mike, I think it's going to get even uglier is by the sea of umbrellas we got going on in front of the press box here. It looks like it's starting to rain out here.
Once again.
Guess who?
Did he get in is the question. Metcalfe, touchdown, is the signal. And that makes it 20 to zip.
Right now, Mike, I have unofficially, Courtez Metcalfe has had 12 carries for 98 yards and 2 touchdowns.
That's pretty sweet. Pretty sweet.
As we were talking about, Skip Graham's out there to kick the extra point with that straight-on kick, and it's good. Well, he puts a boot into that ball when he does it, doesn't he? We're going to run out of
cleared
footballs.
The soccer net and went over the gate just about. 21 to nothing. Warren Central, with 11:24 left to go until halftime, has broken this game open to a point. Greenwood still has an outside shot to crawl back into it, but they've got to quit killing themselves with the turnovers.
Seems to me they had an effective thing going with the running game. Now, it's going to be hard against a team as talented as Warren Central to do nothing but straight up run at them. But maybe they should take a page from that Warren Central playbook and go for those short outlet passes like Warren Central was doing to loosen it up just a little bit. Because so far, Brandon Keith and Shannon Fletcher have had no problems running that ball.
Here's Graham's kick. A short kick this time. Only goes down to the 15. Look out. Fletcher. Oh, he fumbled a football. And Warren Central's got it. Andrew Metcalfe. Who else? Andre. I called him Andrew. It's Andre Metcalfe.
It runs in the family.
Sorry about that, Andre. That was a nice play right there. You picked up the loose ball. I thought he was going to run the other way with it for a second. He took off after it, trying to get back around that corner, but it really doesn't matter. Warren Central's got the football on the 38-yard line.
That was the first kick by Skip Graham that has not gone for a touchback. And that necessarily what we were calling a short kick, I wouldn't call short in a lot of places.
Here's Minnyona Gilbert just into the ball game, and he picks up about 6 or 7 yards. Now Gilbert is the second string tailback. He's 5'8", 180 pounds, and he is a junior. And we'll see him pretty much throughout the rest of this half, I imagine, giving a much-deserved rest to Courtez Metcalfe, who's almost compiled 100 yards in the first half and 2 touchdowns.
I think that's probably a twofold reason. One, you don't want to see anything happen to Metcalfe with the way the field is, as sloppy as it is out there. But two, I bet the kid's tired.
Yeah, he's got to be. All that running he's done. He's carried the ball a number of times. We're going to have a short pass. This one's open. And a nice throw and catch by Warren Central. Isabel hits Chris Elwood, and he was wide open. If Elwood had a little more speed there, he could have picked up 5 or 10 more yards, but he got the first down, and that's the important thing, and that puts Warren Central down inside the red zone, making it about the 18-yard line.
I think Elwood managed to pick up a couple more yards by burying that head down there at the end. He went in wanting a couple more yards.
But he met a host of tacklers. And the first one that he met there was Billy Walker, and Walker stood him up and set him down. Minnyona Gilbert. I love that name. Let's see who gets it, Gilbert or Parker, or whether they'll throw the pass.
Yeah. Cortez is back in the game.
Gilbert stuck back in the backfield. Oh, that was a nice one right there. Mike Slater on the stop, number 40. He's not listed in our program, but we're going to make sure and write him down. That was a nice play. Loss of about 5 yards there. That brings up third down and about 13 now for Warren Central, and this will get a little interesting.
I think that's what they were counting on when they put Cortez back in the game like that.
Fake to Metcalfe, and the throw. Ooh, that could have been picked off right there. That's the first bad pass we've seen all night from Sean Isabel. That'll bring up fourth down, and this will be an interesting situation. Will Coach Hood go for the field goal, or will he just try and run it on up the field and try and pick up a first down?
Like you were saying, Mike, that was the first time we've seen Isabel make a bad move passing-wise. Didn't have his feet underneath him. Was kind of moving away from his target. Not a very well-advised pass either in the kind of traffic they had going on.
Of course, for the first time, he did have some pressure in the backfield. That made a difference as well. So they'll bring up fourth down and about 13, and Warren Central's going to go for it. We're going to see it, and they will. Isabel going for the end zone, wide open. Oh!
Nice defense.
I say wide open, but he was not. Out of nowhere.
Who's the backup quarterback? Chris Krause.
Chris Krause. Excellent defensive play there. Chris showed a pretty good jumping ability there, and a big break. Big break for Greenwood as they get the football back and stop this Warren Central drive, and maybe they can go down and put some points on the board of their own, because if Warren Central scores on that drive right there, this game is over with. See if they can get that running game going once again. They're going to go to the air this time. A screen pass over the middle.
This is the point, I think, where Martin needs to realize that he doesn't need to force a pass just to get his wheels back underneath him and get himself rolling again. He needs to make sure he keeps his head.
Weston Vernon tried to make the catch there, but that pass was a bullet. And it was only about a 10-yard pass, and there really was nobody in between Martin and Vernon. All he had to do was just make a nice throw and catch, but he tried to gun it in there.
Yeah, there was about a 3-step.
And another fumble. I believe Greenwood's got this one. That ball went forward. We'll see if it's ruled an incomplete pass, but I believe his arm was hit on the way up, and that was a true fumble. Maybe a blessing in disguise there. They're going to gain 3 or 4 yards.
A couple yards right
on
there.
The fumble. But Greenwood's going to have to pick up a first down here. They can't afford to punt the football back to Warren Central. There's 8 minutes and 30 seconds left to go in the football game.
Greenwood has got to get back to moving that ball like they were in the first quarter. They were very effective and looking very strong doing it.
We'll see if they give it up to the fullback again, but it is 3rd down. Up to the fullback. Short yardage on this one, and that'll bring up 4th down, and we'll send the punting unit on.
Number 44, Fletcher, first.
Dominic Bonandio is the punter for Greenwood. And I watched him punting in practice, and he was kind of having a little trouble with his footing. We'll see how he handles it here. Oh, my goodness.
Bad snap.
He fumbled the football. It was a bad snap. Couldn't hang on to it, and I believe once again that could have had something to do with the wet grass. That ball's pretty slick, and the center never got a good handle on it to start with, and that's a break for Warren Central like they needed one to start with, but that's a backbreaker for Greenwood.
That's really going to hurt him. I tell you, I think not only, I don't know if we should fault maybe the snap as much as he was standing right out there. If you look at where the ball is, he's standing there in a large area of mud. I think more or less what you were saying, he was concerned about that footing. I think the ball got there a whole lot quicker than he was ready for it.
Up the middle, and no room to run that time. Billy Walker once again playing some good defense tonight. That's a 2nd stop he's had in the backfield.
That was a loss
for Greenwood. Loss of about a yard and a half. Brings up 2nd down, and we'll call it a long 11. Metcalfe back in the ball game. He gets the call. Big hole up the middle. See ya.
That hole was huge.
6 for Central.
I think he could have taken himself, the band, most of the fans, and their fans
could have had a little parade up through that hole.
That is just dominating. That's an offensive line dominating.
That's incredible. They're really coming off the ball now, and we'll see how far Graham kicks this one. It's 27-0. And a good kick. Up and good. And it's now 28-0 with 6 minutes and 57 seconds left to go. Metcalfe with his 3rd touchdown on the night.
And that's going to put Courtez over 100 yards. He's got 104 right now.
Really only 3 plays in that drive. 3 out of the 4 touchdown drives for Warren Central. 3 plays on the first one, 4 plays on the second one, and this last one covered 3 plays. So they do strike in a hurry. And really they're capitalizing on Greenwood miscues.
That's the point I was going to make exactly right there. Most of their points are coming from Greenwood miscues. It's not that Greenwood just is not executing right at the end.
Oh, a mistake here by Keith. He
ouch.
Caught the football over his head and was standing on the goal line and hesitated for a second just to get his bearings and see if he was in the end zone. If he was probably going to stay there.
He took a shot too once he brought it out.
28-0 is your score. We'd like to remind you of our next football game coming up on Store Cable, which will be Bowling Green High making their first visit into Greenwood. You can see the replay dates and times on your screen there, September the 28th and 29th. First game is at 7 p.m., and it'll be shown at 4, the next one. Martin on a broken play, and that was a face mask and no call. Kind of a bad break there, but a good defensive play by Warren Central to get in the backfield, and they're starting to make their presence known on that big defensive line.
I think that's something you can look for in the next game, too, with Bowling Green. They, like Warren Central, have a gang for a defense. They hit together with a lot of them.
That's right. The first man will stick you, stand you straight up, and his 10 compadres
That's
will
right.
Get to you in a hurry, I'll say that. They possess a lot of speed over in Bowling Green, and this game last week between Warren Central and Bowling Green was a good one. Warren Central fell way behind early.
Yeah, Warren
Make a late
Central,
comeback, and
I thought
ended up
tonight we were
losing.
going to see the same thing. Broken play again.
Boy, and the signals are getting crossed up in the backfield now, and Coach Livers is not liking this at all. He's standing on the sidelines, just shaking his head. He just took his earphones off, and he's real disgusted. But I can't blame him. There are a lot of things that you can do as a football player, but mental mistakes are probably the worst, hated by a coach.
Exactly.
These kids from Greenwood will give you 110% every night, but sometimes seems like they make a little too many mental miscues, and that comes from a lack of experience, and often has a lot to do with not having much talent on the football team. Long pass here.
Uh-oh.
Oh, look at here. Second interception of the night. How far can he get it back? Oh, what a tackle.
It's kind of a pro wrestling hold. For a body slam on him there.
The stop was made by the wide receiver, Brian Pennington, number 80. Maybe he ought to be playing defense. That was a good stop, one-handed, and would not let him go. But then again, the second interception on the night for Roland Carver. And he's racking up the statistics as well. Pretty good yardage up the middle on the first down play for the Dragons as they're trying to add to this 28-0 lead with just over 4.5 minutes left to go in the first half. Brings up second down and a long 6 for the Dragons. We have Minnyona Gilbert back into the ball game at tailback. And he gets the football. Big hole once again up the middle.
Dragged a man with him.
Gets first down yardage on a gain of about 7 or 8. And that'll move the chains once again. The middle of that defensive line for Greenwood is really having trouble right now. The center and the guards are blowing Greenwood right off the line. They're even taking the linebacker with them.
Yeah.
That should not happen. And Warren Central is just running the football right up the gut now. This is smash mouth football. Take it straight at you and run right over you.
This is the point now where Greenwood's got to step up because Warren Central, they don't have to throw that ball anymore. Now they can run with it, and what they're saying in effect is you got to take this ball away from it.
And it doesn't look like it's going to happen anytime soon as Tim Parker moves the chains once again on an 11-yard gain and another first down for Warren Central. And before you can turn around and bat an eye, they're back on the line of scrimmage once again. Isabel to Gilbert. Big hole once again. And he's in for 6. If he can get in, touchdown Warren Central. You had a feeling he was going to get in there. He's just too quick. He's got too many moves. He had a couple of defenders to beat. And he did so and ran over the last one right at the goal line. And this ball game is a blowout now at 34-0. Warren Central completely dominating the football game, and it's really just amazing to me because when you look at it, Greenwood dominated the first quarter, about the first half of the first quarter. Broken play, long pass, and broken up. First miscue of the night by Warren Central, and they do not get the PAT, and it's 34-0 with 3:38 left to go in the second quarter.
And that was the first incomplete by Sean Isbell. He's only had to throw 4 times, unless you count the pitches in the backfield. Tell you a scary thought. I was looking it up, Mike. Metcalfe and Gilbert both are juniors. So that's a backfield that's going to be packed for at least one more year.
And you look at this offensive line. Whew, mercy. You're looking at Warren Central once again next year competing for a state championship. And hey, don't write them off this year just because they're 0-3. Let's look at who they've played. Crosstown rival Bowling Green, They got a real bad start in that ball game, but made a good comeback and almost had a chance to win it. Did have a chance to win it, but didn't come up with a big play when they needed it. They played Indianapolis Ben Davis High School last year, were ranked #1 in the nation, and they came down here during the Heritage Bowl and pretty much proved it again this year.
No doubt about it.
And, you know, they played some tough teams, and this Warren Central team really is looking forward to playing Greenwood. They were looking to take it out on somebody, and Greenwood just happened to be the recipient of the beating they're receiving tonight. 3:38 left to go in the second quarter. It's 34-0. Warren Central on top, and Greenwood's going to have the ball on the 20. 1st and 10. And don't look for this Greenwood team to give up. They're going to keep coming at you every single series. Even if they make a turnover every single series, Coach Livers has got that killer instinct in them. Good running room once again up the middle. He drug about 4 tacklers with him. Walker on the carry there. After he's made a couple of good defensive plays, he's going to come over on the offensive side of the ball and see if he can help out the Gators. Gain of 5, 2nd down, and 10 yards to go. Ball spotted on the 25-yard line.
Now it looks again like they're sliding back into that running game, which right now is not that bad of an idea. They can't get it done in the air. They need to go back to moving it on the ground.
Up the middle again. Flags on the play. Gain of about 3, maybe 4. And this one will go against the Gators. It'll be a 5-yard penalty if Warren Central decides to take the penalty.
I think the big thing is right now, the thing Greenwood has to think about, they still have a half of football to play. If they're going to start running that ball, they need to start scoring some points running it. Sooner or later, though, they're going to have to put that ball up in the air. Down 34-0. There's no chance that you're not going to be able to not have to pass sometime during the night.
That's true. Unless Coach Livers came into this ball game feeling that his team didn't have a good chance of winning, which, if you look at the odds makers, the spread on this game would be about 40, 45 points at least. He could come in with a definite, establish a running game for his football team and get him some confidence.
If that was his goal, then he's done a great job tonight, because Greenwood has definitely been moving the ball quite effectively.
Against a good, now, this is a good Warren Central defense they're moving the football against. They've just made miscues at really terrible times. They couldn't come at worse times. You know, 3rd down and short, and you get an offsides penalty, makes it 3rd and long. That's, you know, kind of a bonehead play, but these kids are young and they're going to learn, and that's what they're out here for. 2:42 left in the half. Martin rolling around, lost his footing for a second. Now he breaks away, cuts back to the inside, but there's nothing there. Gain of about 2.
I think he maybe just decided to take that one out on his own. I'm not sure. It looked maybe like he decided he was going to go the other way on that play.
Pretty good idea is he had everybody going the other way except for the defensive end who caught him. It brings up 4th down, and we'll see if they can get this punting situation down tack this time. It looked to me like in that first time everybody came through the middle of the defense, or the middle of the offensive line, and here they come again when he barely gets it off, and it's not a bad punt at all.
No.
Considering the circumstances. Look who's got the football. Roland Carver on his first punt return of the evening.
It's a nice block by Martin out there on number 55. It's a good block. Let his man get a couple more steps. Now, you can't expect Courtez to do everything and block the other 3 that got down there.
Here comes Sean Isabel back out onto the field, and we've got a clean jersey in the ball game. Steve Stonebreaker, the wide receiver, has yet to see some action tonight.
He's standing out like a sore thumb out there.
And with the score, he probably won't see any action either. Pitch to guess who? Metcalfe. Not much running room there. The Gators shut the outside down, cut him back inside, and a whole host of tacklers in there for the Gators. Brings up 2nd down, a gain of 2. Makes it 8 to go. A little over a minute left to play here in the first half at Greenwood Stadium. The Swamp, as it has been dubbed. 34-0. Warren Central leads Greenwood in its first home ball game in the school's history. Good speed there on the outside and good running. Was that a late flag I saw come in? I believe it was, and the officials are going to talk about it.
Now that was Andre Metcalfe.
5'5", 140 pounds, a sophomore, and showed great speed. And I bet we'll see more of him tonight.
Greenwood.
Seems every time we're turning around, there's somebody new in the Warren Central backfield out there.
Well, it happens like that when you score a multitude of points. .58 seconds to go. 1st and 10, Central. Here he goes again, Metcalfe. Oh, good tackle that time. Brian Pennington made a good stick. And the clock is still running, and you think Warren Central might want to try and put one more touchdown here on the board to go into the half, make it a lot more comfortable so they can play some other people in the second half. Isabel with 25 seconds left to go. Fakes the pitch, and whoa, big running room. Can he get around the outside? No, he took it back up the gut.
Some great moves going there on that run.
Boy, that was a good call right there. Had everybody going to the left side, and you run the football right back up the gut on the veer play, almost like a reverse.
A lot of shaking and baking going on there.
Jamison Smith with his first carry of the ball game, and the clock's running with 12 seconds left to go. Isabel pitches to the outside. There goes Metcalfe. He's going to walk in for the score. Routine. 6 seconds left to go in the half, and Warren Central has struck again. That makes it 40-0.
It's getting ugly, Mike.
And here comes Big Graham. Let's see if they can get the extra point on this one. Good snap, good hold. Oh, and he missed this one. Off the side of his foot, and a shank with 6 seconds left to go. That holds the score at 40-0.
Despite the score, you have to look out here. The crowd's still here. Crowd's still in the game. It's a big game, first home game. Great turnout for both sides. Looks like Warren Central brought quite a few of their own fans along with them.
Of course, Warren Central High School is located about, maximum of 5 miles from here. A lot of people making the trip. Just interested to see what the field looks like. 6 seconds to go. This should be the final play of the half. Big kick this time. And Martin takes it. He goes to the 20. He's carrying that football like a bread basket. And he better watch out. 1 second left to go on the clock. So Greenwood can either kneel down and go into the half, trailing by 40, or they can throw up the Hail Mary. One play left to go. We'll see what Coach Livers wants to do with the football. And the clock runs out, and that's the half. So your score at the half, Warren Central 40 and Greenwood nothing. You're watching Kentucky High School football on Store Cable 6.
Okay.
And welcome back. We're at the stadium. Your score at the half, Warren Central High School 40 and Greenwood nothing. Greenwood in their first game of the season at home, the first game in the school's history at home. Let's run through the scoring in the first half. Courtez Metcalfe, big play in the game. He broke it for 50 yards, made it 7-0 on the run. Drive only took 3 plays. He scored with 10:53 left to go in the first quarter. Isabel went to Roland Carver through the air on a touchdown pass of 34 yards, made it 14-0. Courtez Metcalfe came back with 2 runs, one from 1 yard out to make it 21-0, one from 12 yards out to make it 28-0. Then Minnyona Gilbert ran one for 18 yards to make it 34-zip, and Courtez Metcalfe had one 2-yard touchdown run to make it 40-0. And now here's my good buddy Dan Powers to talk about the leaders for each team.
All right, in rushing we have Courtez Metcalfe. Courtez on 15 carries, 3 touchdowns, 106 yards. Minnyona Gilbert not doing too shabby himself on 5 yards with a touchdown for 51. There are 2 complete passes so far. Chris Elwood, though, has got your big gain, 1 pass for 13 yards. Sean Isabel, he's had to go up top 4 times. That's it. 1 incompletion. Sean's only thrown for 58 yards, but you really don't need to worry about when you're pitching back there in the backfield. All right, for the Greenwood Gators, Brandon Keith. Now, hadn't looked too good there at the end of the first half, but the first half of the game, 5 carries for 81 yards, and Greenwood was moving the ball effectively. Now, it all kind of fell apart turnover-wise. Passing, Nate Martin, the quarterback, has had 1 completion so far. That was to Weston Vernon, the senior tight end. Nate,
The big stat down there.
3 interceptions.
Yeah, it really hurts them. And, of course, they had a fumble outside of that.
Had the fumble on 4th and 1.
That's right. And then, it's just a backbreaker. It's hard to try and do anything there. But they really did move the football well there in the first half, and they need to be commended for that. But now the current standings in this Class 3A Region 1 District 2 shows Bowling Green, Warren Central, pretty much the powerhouses there, but as you see, Warren Central's down there on the bottom. The overall records are on the left, and the district records are on the right. You see Bowling Green with a 2-1 record overall and 1-0 in the district. They're probably the favorites to win it right now since they beat Warren Central. Bowling Green in the AP ranking is ranked 6th in the state in Class 3A, and Warren Central is ranked 10th, even though they're 0-3, but of course we talked about that a little earlier. But now look out for Franklin Simpson and Owensboro. If if Bowling Green, pulls a Homer Simpson and loses a game that they're not supposed to, look for one of those 2 teams to really make a strong bid for it, and don't count out Warren Central either.
No, there's no way.
These kids are going to come back fighting. They've lost 3 games, but you look down their schedule, they play Owensboro at home, Warren East away, Shelby County away, Logan County, Bullitt Central at home, and Franklin Simpson at home. So you got Owensboro and Franklin Simpson both on top, both at home. I really don't look for them to lose another game this season. I think they should walk through the rest of their schedule and go 7-3 and roll right into the playoffs. And we look at the rest of the season. September the 25th, Bowling Green takes on Greenwood. October the 2nd, it's Warren Central back again at Warren East. And we stay again there the next week for Warren East when they host Bowling Green. Then we have Westmoreland of Tennessee, a real good football team from just south of the border, comes in to this stadium here to play Greenwood in the final game of the season, which was a great ball game last year and the year before that at Bowling Green High, Owensboro, and Bowling Green on October the 23rd. And that ball game 2 years ago, when Bowling Green came in ranked number 1 in the state, they were undefeated, 7-0, and Owensboro beat them 10-0. And it was pouring down the rain, and I'll never forget that game. Bowling Green came in, thought they had it won, and Owensboro beat them. So you can't count out any team in this district. This is one of the toughest districts in all of Kentucky football, right here in the Bowling Green area.
Serious football powerhouses, all stacked throughout it. There's no way around that. And to tell you the truth, like you were saying, I'm having a hard time seeing this Warren Central team with as much talent and as much depth as they have being out of this thing, even at 0-3. Way too much skill for them to be counted out.
And of course, you think they've got 7 games to work on their skills, and the toughest test that they'll probably get out of the remaining schedule will be from Franklin Simpson, and that's because Franklin Simpson always plays Warren Central tough. It's really kind of a grudge match, a rivalry, and Franklin Simpson should give them a good ball game. Now, Warren Central should whip up on everybody else, not like they're doing to Greenwood tonight, but they should beat everybody pretty soundly, and that gives their young players a chance to play football.
Exactly.
On a game like tonight, they're going to get basically the second half, they'll get to play whoever they want to, and it gives everybody on the team experience, and that is nothing but a plus when you're going into the playoffs, and everybody has played at least 2 or 3 halves of football.
Yeah, there's nothing like getting rid of those jitters that's going to go on. And if you can get these kids out here playing, get them moving effectively, get them executing the way they need to be executing, you can do a lot come the playoffs.
That's true. Well, we're about ready to set the kickoff the second half of the first game ever played on this field. The field has held up quite remarkably. It's still kind of misty raining right now. It rained all day, had a soccer game played on it before him, and the field's really not in too bad a shape.
I hate to be alarming with that misty rain. We've also got some lightning moving in.
Yeah, we're going to have to keep an eye out on that, too. Here's Metcalfe. Oh, big hole. Oh, but tackle by Greenwood. And once again, Brian touchdown saving tackles that Pennington has made on his own. So the Greenwood Gators have really got to thank him. So Warren Central will bring the ball out just past the 30-yard line to begin the second half of play. Metcalfe surprisingly starts the second half. They give it up the middle to Parker. Parker gets the first down and then some. He's out close to midfield, make it the 48-yard line, gain of about 13, call it 14, and a first down for Warren Central. Now, what is a huge crowd for this first opening game has certainly been alarmed to the lightning off to our left, which would be coming from the west, which 9 times out of 10 means it's headed our way. So we'll keep an eye out on that. And speaking of lightning, here goes Isabel. Not Isabel, Metcalfe. Is he going to go all the way? Yes, he's going to outrun. Oh, what a, whoo! Another breaker.
Almost did it again.
I thought he was going to go all the way, and he got tackled by the shoestring. Phenomenal. Mark that 10, 20, 30, 36-yard run, tacked on to 100-plus evening. If they keep him in the ball game, he could get 200 yards.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. I think it's just a matter of time until he does, as a matter of fact.
Parker, flags everywhere. No gain on the play.
The way people are diving down there, maybe the ball might have popped loose. Saw some Warren Central players drop there at the end of the play.
The indication looks to be a face mask penalty. And will probably be on Greenwood. Somebody trying to tackle Parker and got a piece of the face mask. It looks like it's just going to be a 5-yard penalty. It'll be half the distance of the goal line.
I think that's something the Gators need to watch out for, regardless of the score. You have to stay in that game, keep your mind on what you're doing. You don't want to start getting sloppy where somebody could get hurt.
That's right.
Just out of frustration or just out of mental lapses.
Brings up first and goal on the 7-yard line. Metcalfe, can he score his 4th time? Yes. Touchdown, Warren Central. 46-0, and Metcalfe has his 4th touchdown of the evening, and he grows ever so slowly towards that 150-yard mark.
He's getting there. He's about 3 yards short right now, as a matter of fact.
He's pretty much there. Of course, this is unofficial, but that's just tremendous running. He's a great tailback. That's all there is to it. Graham's kick. This one's good. And it's 47 to a goose egg. 9 minutes, 32 seconds left in the third quarter. Four touchdowns for Metcalfe.
You think he's getting tired of looking at the end zone by now?
Oh, I don't think a runner like that could ever get tired of looking at the end zone, especially when nobody's in front of him.
He seems to be exploring all the options in there.
He knows that end zone, both of them, really well.
That's right.
So So we'll have the kickoff and see if Greenwood can get something started here in the second half.
Here's Graham again.
Of course, this score is no stranger to Greenwood. They've seen this many times before in their short history. But they'll keep coming at them. They'll probably put some points on the board before it's all said and done. Martin slips out to about the 19, call it the 20, and that'll bring up first down for the Gators.
Minnyona Gilbert.
There's that name again, Minnyona Gilbert on the stop.
Seems those guys are everywhere, isn't it? They can't get them off the field, offense and defense, both times.
There's 5 or 6 players for Warren Central that go both ways, and 3 or 4 of them are linemen. Martin up the gut, fumble, but I believe he got it back. Brandon Keith on the carry. Somebody stripped the football from him, but I believe he got it back. That'll bring up second down. It's still gained about, call it along 3. Makes it second down and 7 for the Gators here at the Swamp.
I think that nickname's going to stick after tonight, the way the field's looking right now.
Definitely. And if this field doesn't, Greenwood's got 6 more home games to go the rest of the season. They're going to be it. And there's another busted pass coverage. Actually, the coverage was there. There's no blocking. Greenwood has really had a tough time. Now, run blocking, they have done a pretty good job against a real good defensive line of Warren Central. But now pass rushing has certainly worked to Warren Central's advantage.
I think that can go for
Martin has never had time to throw the ball all night.
No, not at all.
Not even one play.
That would seem that the entire passing game for Greenwood is out of sync right now. Blocking and Martin by himself.
Of course, could have something to do with success in the running game. They may not know how to handle it. Well, right there you had a case of miscommunication. Martin had time to throw the football, but his receiver was blocking downfield, wasn't even looking at him. And if he would have turned around and came right back to the football, it's a 10, 15-yard gain in the first down. But then again, inexperience on the part of Greenwood.
You can't fault Martin for getting rid of that ball either. He had some big boys coming up there after him.
Jimmy White was the intended receiver, and he's the senior. And Jimmy, we like you, buddy, but you should have turned around to catch that one. Little miscommunication. Decent punt there, but a bad bounce. Good bounce if you're a Warren Central fan. So with 7 minutes and 11 seconds left to go in the third quarter, scores 47-0. Warren Central on the attack once again in Gator territory at about the 35-yard line. Looks like the rain's kind of eased up.
It's been a while since we've seen the lightning either, so
maybe it's going to pass on around us.
We might get a blessing in disguise right here.
Get this game in. See if Metcalfe can get 200 yards. New backs in the backfield now. Straight up the gut.
Got a white jersey
running
in there.
up the middle.
Got a white jersey in there again, Mike.
And you kind of love to see it. Lamont Davidson, another tailback, 5'10", 165 pounds. In the 11th grade, a host of talented juniors in the backfield for Warren Central.
It's starting to get scary, the amount of talented juniors that Warren Central has there in the backfield.
Well, we'll see if Davidson will get the call again. I imagine he will. Straight up the gut, probably. Up the gut this time to the fullback. Good running. He's hit 2 or 3 times and scoots through there. Picks up the first down and then some. Lamont Turner.
Blocker number 38 over Sean Turner.
That's LaShawn Turner. I said Lamont. It is LaShawn Turner, number 38, the fullback. Oh, gang tackling once again, and that saves a touchdown. And Lamont Davidson is taking it straight up the gut. And this, there's nothing special about this. This is turn around and give the football off and run straight up and down the field.
There's not a lot of fancy blocking going on. This
right.
is not a pretty football game.
This is taking it right at you and shoving it down your throat. We got a new quarterback in the game, too. Brad Roberts. Down close to the goal line. I don't believe he got in. It's going to be short on about the 1.
You don't want to joke about it, but it seems the only thing Brad's really going to have to adjust doing is just turning and pitching. That seems to be
getting that footing down.
That's about it.
Getting a good grip on that football, and that's all you got to worry about. It's hard to make a mistake.
Pounding it down closer and closer.
So we got Brad Roberts quarterbacking. Turner and Davidson in the backfield. And it's a Warren Central touchdown.
Ball carried by number 22.
And if you'll notice,
Warren Central.
we could get a shot of the scoreboard right now. It is running.
Oh, yeah.
So you get the general idea with no time being played on the field. Time is running now. And this is more of a generous move. We've seen this before in a Greenwood football game. But it's all right. Graham's kick. Perfect. 54 to zip. And Warren Central is back.
There's no doubt about it. Somebody was going to take a beating there. Unfortunately for Greenwood, they happened to come along on the schedule.
It just, scheduling is one of those things where you have to play teams in your district. There's no way to get around it. And Greenwood just happens to fall in one of the toughest districts in the state of Kentucky.
Hard way to carve yourself a name when you're starting out right there.
And the clock is still running all the way down to 3:27 now. So we could play this second half in about 45 minutes and make easy work of it. Let's see how far Graham kicks this one.
Whoa.
Mackerel. Woo! Mercy. On about the 2.
Martin's going to bring it out again. He's got that one-handed grip down there.
He's going to throw the football or something. Boy, he needs to tuck that ball away and put it in the gut instead of carrying it out there like a loaf of bread. Brings up first down.
You think that would be his top concern, the problems they've had squibbing that ball away this evening?
Most definitely. After the 4 INTs and the 2 fumbles, the 6 interceptions, the 6 turnovers have been the Gators' undoing. Of course, their inability to put the ball in the end zone has something to do with getting beat, too. This pass is deflected and almost picked off. Guess who that was? Andre Metcalfe, and if he'd have caught that ball, it'd been, mercy, 60-0.
It's really amazing when you watch a game like this. When you saw Greenwood the first quarter, they looked so good and so effective, and it shows you what holding on to that football will do. They lost the ball. They were able to come back, not too bad, but the second time they lost the ball, it seems like all the wind just left their sails, and they couldn't do it anymore.
Martin. And he's just slung down in the backfield behind the 20. That'll bring up third down and 100,000 yards for a first.
It's got to be hard to go back in that huddle. You're down 54-0. You can't get the ball moving.
Got to keep piling in there, and of course Warren Central's coming at you. They're really kind of ticked off because they're 0-3, and they're going to take it out on you just as much as possible.
There's no chance for Warren Central to just kind of lay back and put on the kid gloves. They're going to go all out tonight.
Central could play all night, and it wouldn't bother them. They could play for 4 hours and score 100 touchdowns. They keep coming at you.
I think when you've got the kind of team you've got with Warren Central, and you've got the depth they have, you've got a team that's 0-3, but their talent's much better than that. It's not going to matter who comes in off that sideline. They're going to be fired up, and they're going to want to go at you 100%.
There's a little talent over on that sideline, too. You got some guys playing both ways, but those are the superior players playing both ways. You still have good talent on the sideline. It just doesn't get a chance to play because you got the superstars out on the field.
Once those boys get in the game, they're not gonna hold back for you. They're gonna show you what they're all about.
Fourth down now, about 11 yards to go. Hunting. And a decent kick. Ball's going to take a roll. Oh! Greenwood almost got a break there. Little Aaron Carver was blocking, and the ball bounced from behind him, went directly over the top of his head, and Brandon Keith caught it standing right in front of Metcalfe. That won't happen too many times, especially in this muddy field. 10 seconds left to go. The clock will remain running for the rest of the game, I imagine. And Warren Central probably will not get a playoff, and that will be the end of the third quarter. With your score, Warren Central 54 and Greenwood 0. You're listening to Kentucky High School football on Store Cable 6.
The most honored cable network salutes its 1992 Emmy Award winners.
For outstanding lead actor in a miniseries or special.
The Emmy goes to Bo Bridges, Mount Morning.
For bringing you unforgettable television events and stories no one else will tell.
Mr. Jim Brady is back there. Right, Jim?
We congratulate all our Emmy winners. It's because of their extraordinary achievements that we can say it could only happen here. HBO, once again, the most honored cable network.
Our house is a real fixer-upper.
But while we fix her up,
We don't have the time or money to go out.
so we order in a hot pizza.
And a hot show on pay-per-view.
It's easy, it's affordable.
And it's right here at home.
Make the choice. Make your day pay-per-view.
And we're back. Beginning of the fourth quarter. Warren Central has the football. And they take it across midfield. Brings up second down and about 4 yards to go for first. Set the stage for you. Scores 54-0. This ball game has been totally dominated by Warren Central. Although Greenwood did show signs of a good running attack early in the first quarter, about the first 3 series. Warren Central has dominated since then. Good defensive play there for Greenwood. That brings up third down. And about 5 yards to go.
By number 29, David Thomas.
About 11 minutes to go
By number 56.
for the finale of this ball game. And Greenwood in his first home game
I don't think
getting shut out.
I don't think this is the opener they were looking for, Mike.
Not exactly. Certainly the opener and the welcoming present that Warren Central wanted to deliver across town.
Exactly.
And the lightning getting a little more intense up top, and this clock may not stop again. They may just let this thing run out. We got people pouring for the exits now, trying to get in before the rains hit.
Kind of empty the stands right there.
Warren Central trying to march this ball down the field and get it in the end zone as quick as possible. First down. And about 4 yards on the carry.
It's going to be interesting sometime within these next 6 games to see how the middle of that field is holding up out there, because right now it's taking a pounding.
It is taking a large beating.
Basically, Greenwood's defense right now is standing in a pool of mud and water. That's about all there is out there.
Coach Livers is going to take a timeout. And I have a feeling we may see the completion of this game because of the lightning.
Stubblefield. Please see Mr. Jackson by the Gator bench.
And I believe that's what's going to happen, ladies and gentlemen. This short fourth quarter is going to be ended, and this ball game is going to be called because of lightning. It's over with anyway. It's not like it's a close one. And these teams are going to head for the exits. And Greenwood, welcome to your home season. 54-0. Warren Central over Greenwood. And once again, well, we'll take a break. We'll be right back. You're watching Kentucky High School football on Store Cable 6. And welcome back to Greenwood High School, and a lightning-shortened ball. Central has defeated Greenwood High School 54-0. And, you know, in the third quarter, they kind of let the clock run out because it was a blowout. But these people need to get inside because the weather is very inclement right now, and everybody's heading for the house. But a decent showing for Greenwood in the first quarter, but after that it was all downhill because of the turnovers.
There was no doubt about it. They had a good running game starting right off the bat. The problem was they couldn't get the passing game to go along with it. The turnovers killed them. And they were facing a Warren Central team that coming in at 0-3 was mad, and they were going to take it out on somebody.
So the 10th-ranked Warren Central Dragons in the AP poll move to 1-3 overall, 1-1 in the district. Greenwood falls to 0-4, 0-3 in the district. Your final 54-0. And we'd like to remind you of our next broadcast of high school football here on Store Cable 6. It will be Bowling Green High coming into this field and playing Greenwood. And the replay dates and times can be seen on the screen. The 28th at 7 p.m. and the 29th at 4. And now for Dan Powers, I'm Mike Gay saying so long from the swampy Gator Field here in Bowling Green, Kentucky. Your final score, Warren Central 54, Greenwood 0. You're watching Kentucky High School football on Store Cable 6.